The Last Dance is a 10-part documentary series that charts the rise of the 1990 Chicago Bulls, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, Luke Longley, Tony Kukoc, so many incredible players. This, of course, was back when Get Ready by 2 Unlimited was played at every single sporting event, and this is on Netflix right now, and it's something I had no plans to review. But after watching it, I became so wrapped up in it, I loved it so much, and I couldn't help but want to talk about it. In second grade, our teacher made us do a time capsule. It was a questionnaire that we had to fill out, and then I forgot all about it. When I was in my 20s, my mom showed it to me, and I was very entertained reading my responses to what I wanted to do with my life. I wrote that I absolutely positively was going to be an NBA basketball player because in the 90s I was obsessed with Michael Jordan and the Bulls. Movies like Space Jam obviously helped. Keep in mind I'm an elementary schooler at this time, and all I wanted was a basketball hoop in my driveway. It was my biggest dream. We could never afford it though, so at the Dollar Tree, my mom got me one of those suction cup hoops that you could put on your door with a little foam ball. And elementary school Chris was just practicing the shit out of that every day, thinking I am going to be Michael Jordan one day and my life is going to be amazing. I always wanted a pair of Air Jordans, but similar to the basketball hoop, we could never afford them, so I would get Spalding shoes that kind of looked like Jordans. And I remember getting those and being so excited, thinking, does anyone know these are Spaldings? This shit is hilarious now. But after I discovered filmmaking, I was like, yeah, basketball is just going to be something I enjoy and have fun with because I don't have the drive that people like Michael Jordan did. Watching this documentary, this man was absurdly competitive. He cared so much about this game, being the best he could, but also pushing his teammates very far to achieve their pinnacle. One of the most fascinating things about this documentary is that they have access to footage from the 1998 season. And this is shot on film, and it has been remastered, and it is beautiful. This footage is enlightening, and there's many aspects of it that gave me chills. But something about that film from 98 that they've now released made me realize that I perceive time through the technology that filmed it. Looking at this pristine, remastered footage of 1990s games looked like today because of the quality. I'm so used to looking at game footage from that time period on YouTube in 240p looking like it was shot with some dude's ass, and it made me realize that I perceive time, especially decades, through the technology used to film it and how we save that footage and how we archive that footage, because it looked like it was modern. It really surprised me, and it kind of shocked me how beautiful it was. Something else that I was surprised to learn was Scottie Pippen's pay, particularly how bad it was. There's a great graph that appears in episode 2, I believe it was, that was like he's number 2 in the NBA in assists, number 2 in scoring, number 1 in this, 2 in this, 1 in this, 122 in salary, which was mind-blowing. One of the greatest basketball players of all time was one of the most underpaid of all time. And it's sad, and you can understand why over the course of the documentary he gets discouraged. There's even a point in which he feels like, I don't want to do this anymore. And you can't really fault him when you look at what he was doing for the NBA, for the Bulls, for fans, and the fact that he wasn't really getting rewarded for it like his teammates were. And I forgot as I was watching it that Kobe Bryant was interviewed. And so that was very touching to see him talk about playing with Michael and his experiences. Obviously, Michael Jordan inspired millions of people, including me, and so watching him talk about how he went about doing that very meticulously was entertaining to no end. The documentary is edited so well. They had to pour through so much footage to find specific moments that the people they're interviewing are talking about. They'll mention a smile during a game or a whisper to another opponent during a game, and they will find that footage and show it. And I can't imagine how long it must have took them to go through all of this footage, but they did a fantastic job at weaving this story together. But I loved hearing about the infamous flu game in which Michael played sick. In this documentary, he says, I actually had food poisoning, and he talks about how he was literally barfing the entire fucking night into the day and then going out on the court and winning a game. It's jaw-dropping, the amount of dedication that this man had for the game. And it's very funny, the things he used to motivate himself, but you can't really argue with the results. The dude's got 6 rings, so, I mean, good for him. But I also like that they didn't make him look like a hero all the time. They explored the gambling controversy. They showed footage of how he pushed his teammates. He would trash talk the shit out of them and sometimes push them harder than they wanted to be pushed. And there are a few moments where other players are very candid and honest about that. But again, you can't really argue with the results. It's not like he's J.K. Simmons in Whiplash or something. I'm not condoning treating people poorly, obviously. I think that you should be respectful of the people you're working with, of course. But there is a level of healthy competition that can result in incredible success. It also explores beautifully the price of fame. In Jordan's case, extreme fame and recognition. Couldn't go anywhere without being asked a question. He was often hounded everywhere he went, and this became very normal for him. And the fact that the biggest controversy anyone could ever uncover was that he might have gambled a little too much is actually absurd. You'd think there'd be more, but it seems like he's just like a dude who loves basketball and really put everything into the game and didn't leave anything out of it. But it was a bit heartbreaking to see players like him and Pippen and Rodman, especially Rodman with the media, who just wanted to do this thing. They just wanted to be themselves. They just wanted to play this game, and they just wanted to have a great time. And you see this crowd of people that just aren't letting it happen easily. And it makes you feel bad about the way the game is treated, the way the players are treated. Speculation about what they're doing, who they're doing it with, where they are they sick, what kind of sickness is it? Will he come back next year? Will they come back for another year? Will Phil Jackson retire? What I'm getting at is that I always feel bad for anyone who really excels at their craft, who isn't just allowed to do that. People always want to get in the way, and this documentary explored that in a respectful way and one that got the point across very well. One other thing they did that I really liked was they were able to hand a tablet to their interviewees and be like, here's your friend saying this shit, what do you think? And you just watch them watch it. Watching other people watch stuff, for some reason, is fascinating, and so seeing Michael Jordan, like, very visibly react to people talking about him was extremely entertaining. And the doc does a great job at making you emotionally invested in key moments in the game's history. Like when Steve Kerr makes this incredible shot during one of the games, before they focus on that shot, they talk about how his father was also murdered, how MJ's father was murdered, and how they eventually were able to work together as a team. They didn't necessarily bond over that one thing. And Steve Kerr mentions always thinking about his dad during the national anthem. They show Steve Kerr in the 90s during the national anthem right before he makes this incredible shot. And they do a great job at telling this story in a way that makes you emotionally invested, but also riveted. This is one of the best sports documentaries I've ever seen. I'm going to give The Last Dance an A+. And this is giving me the perfect excuse to do something I've wanted to do for a very fucking long time. I have wanted to talk about sports movies for a while. This year, Space Jam 2 is coming out, and now that I've talked about The Last Dance and how much I really loved it, I would love to talk about some sports films that have meant something to me, or that I at least enjoy. So I'm going to be talking about a few select sports films over the next few weeks, and that should be a lot of fun. Thank you guys as always for watching, but I also want to give a big thank you to the sponsor for this video, Squarespace. From websites and online stores to marketing tools and analytics, Squarespace is the all-in-one platform to build a beautiful online presence and run your business. Every design automatically includes a unique mobile experience that matches the overall style of your website, so your content will look great on every device every time. And if you want, you can disable the mobile view from Website Manager. You can present your videos from YouTube, Vimeo, and Animoto on your Squarespace site. You can add an image overlay to your video to improve your website's load speed by waiting to embed video players until playback starts. Buying a domain from Squarespace is simple because there are no hidden fees or price hikes. And Squarespace sells over 200 top-level domains, so you can find the perfect name for your website. So please do check out squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/Chris Stuckmann for 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Thank you guys as always for watching, and thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. Look forward to more reviews very soon, and if you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmannized.